Peace and true self-expression. Those two things come together in a beautiful, profound witnessing that allows everything to change on earth. And I want to invite you into this inquiry today as we talk about what being a peacemaker is all about. Hello, friends. This is Sasa with a message from Gaia. I am excited for you to find the peace that you are looking for. And that is actually the kind of the ultimate thing that we are seeking here is true peace, true awakening. When we step into the notion that peace is available to us, then we step into the possibility of being our true selves. And the way that works is when you are activating your light codes for awareness and true belief in yourself, ultimately what happens is you find peaceful engagements with the world are more common. And that comes from an inner peace. That comes from a knowing the truth of you in such a deep way that it makes it possible for you to extend a helping hand to people when your cup is full, so to speak, or to work with others in a collaborative manner because you are so grounded in who you really are that you feel safe in an environment of collaboration and co-creation. And it also, there's a scope to this that is bigger, obviously, because these ripple effects are profound. When you can collaborate, when you can notice your worth and your well-being and your aptitude for being amazing in life and doing the things that you like to do, then there's a lot more available to everyone because you have made it available. You have opened the pathway for healing so profoundly that other people can step into the same container. And the truth is that we all benefit from you being true to yourself. I know that seems counterintuitive in some ways because what if what I want isn't what someone else wants and creates a stir because they get their needs met and I don't get mine, or vice versa. And there is actually a pathway for all needs to get met and all people to express their true nature. And I'm talking about your true nature, right? We're not talking about, I'm going to say egoistic concerns, but we're going to put that aside because ego has a purpose and isn't necessarily a negative thing in our life. But, we could say that, we aren't being narcissistic by wanting to be true to ourselves. It is not an act of narcissism to be true to your real self, your expanded self, your higher self embodied in form, because that's what we're looking at. The idea that our higher self comes to play with us, gets to be us, gets to rock the world the way that we want to rock it, right? So how about look at the places where you are noticing what is like, notice, okay, well, here's what guys are saying. What is up for you right now? Notice that. Where are you focused? What is it that is shaking you and shaking you in your boots? Okay. Or what is really jiving for you? What is good? What is feeling great? You get to notice all of that. And, there's a little bit of us in a problem as much as there is in a solution. So, you are ultimately capable of finding a solution to any problem. Every problem has solutions available, not just one, in most cases anyways. And you are noticing, through noticing what's up, where you fit into things. And I'm talking about like noticing when you don't get your needs met, where do you actually fit? Find that. Because there's a place where you fit. And we get to notice what's not fitting, and that can help us notice where we most want to be seen and heard and witnessed and felt and cared for. So this is a cry for getting your needs met, really, ultimately. Um, Peace is a part of that. The more your needs are met, the more peace there is in the world, the more peace that you can offer others because you're grounded, you're centered, you know yourself, you're true to yourself, you hold space for others in the peace that you are engendering in your own life. And my absolute desire in life is to be a peacemaker. And I find that that happens most easily when I support others in being true to their true nature and expressing themselves candidly and honestly and openly and vulnerably and real in a real way versus, being very cautious about what you say all the time is an interesting thing because when you care enough to let people know the truth. And that isn't always simple, but it is certainly provides a need getting met because you didn't kowtow to the social order and let someone else decide for you who you get to be and what you get to be. So how do we make peace real? Well, we find peace in ourselves. And that offers the opportunity to make peace real for other people through witnessing our example. Because when you seem to have inner peace, other people want it. They enjoy watching you be peaceful, and they want a piece of it. And they might want a piece of you too. But I'm not suggesting that we don't give lovingly to others, from our center. I'm just suggesting that you nourish yourself and take care of yourself in any situation. So when we look at the big picture of what life is asking for, it's asking for wholeness. It's asking for us to be true and real. And that is it. True and real. That is everything. Real world waits for us to be real. And we choose realness. We do on some level. I'm not going to suggest that there aren't things that want to push you out of yourself. They do. That exists. It is a real thing. Or a truth. It's a thing that exists. Let's put it that way. It is not a representation of what's real in the planet, though. The real world, the new earth, as it were, asks for you to listen to what is real for you and to honor that and not to explain away your desires, your needs for the sake of, funny, they're saying, don't do it to proselytize the truth either. We sometimes think that we have to present an image for the sake of some, some cause or some work or some job. And essentially, that's also, it's like we want to actually encourage real free will. And if we don't give ourselves free will, then everyone else is lost. Our free will is so important to who we really are. We need to give it to ourselves. And then others will enjoy more free will in the world because you brought it in through you. What did that take? It took honesty. It took true witnessing of yourself to others in a way that honors you. We're not suggesting that we air out all our dirty laundry in public, but try your best to be authentic. And authenticity kind of gets thrown around a little bit. We're going to say vulnerability, openness, curiosity about how to present yourself in a way that both honors you and is open and vulnerable. That shows peace. That is a way for people to, it's funny, guys are saying it's a way for people to adapt to their true nature because they get to witness you and yours and then they go, that felt good. Maybe I want to do that too. So think about it. Think about how you adopt the attitude of grace in your life by witnessing yourself as a peacemaker, as a truth teller, as a space holder, as a committed partner in the human evolution, evolving into a ninth dimensional reality. Because, you know, we talk about the fifth dimension a lot, but the ninth is where heaven lives. So fifth is a transition point into higher dimensional energies, and this is where we create the highest realm of existence, is through peace, through adapting. They made me say the word adapting. It's funny because that's not the word, is it? We don't adapt to our nature. We allow our nature to come through. We explore our nature as well, but that's a whole other topic. So here's the joyful outcome of you becoming you and belonging to the planet, because you must feel a sense of belonging to really have inner peace. If you start to think, I don't deserve to be here for some reason, then that is going to get in the way. Gaia says, you belong here. You are welcome here. Goddess has invited you to live on this planet. It wasn't just a decision. It wasn't just college earth sign up and, 4-year course, or what, so to speak. It was Gaia saying, hey, come on in. Come on in. And you get to be whole. That's the whole journey of being here, is a wholeness. And we see too many examples of things that disrupt our wholeness. And we start to believe that that's what life is about. And it absolutely is about wholeness. So they're saying don't tell jokes as much about how humanity is terrible. Because the truth is, a lot of humanity is pretty incredible. If we, it's funny, I think about like my Instagram feed, and I certainly hear a lot of bad news, on my feed. But also I witness like the most incredible human beings having fun, playing, sharing their vision for the world, sharing jokes that are funny and cute, and animals that communicate through pressing buttons. People taking the time to teach them how to communicate and actually dissolving a language barrier with their pets is like my latest thing that I'm so enamored with. And I also love to watch birds talk, although not all birds talk, and that's okay too. But because that is a thing, everyone wants a talking bird, and not all birds are talking. They're so amazing. But I witnessed the joyful expression of animals and people and movements and kind-hearted souls creating content to make you smile or laugh after a hard week. Those sorts of things really shine to me. And I think I conversed with someone today about how social media can actually be pretty great, which kind of brings me to people are actually pretty great in general. I think we look to the negative things that we see, and then we just assume everyone kind of stinks deep down inside. I'm not saying we're perfect, but, we can be imperfectly perfect too. And I know that what happens when people allow love to come in through other people in their lives, your peace grows and your sense of self-worth can grow too, actually. Because you witness belonging happening in your world. Others get to belong, and so do you. And I have this card in one of my decks. It says something to the effect of, stop buying into the idea that humanity is a virus on the planet. Belonging is a birthright, and there is no path forward in self-denial, essentially, something to that effect. So basically, if humanity is a virus, you're denying yourself the right to be here too, if you buy into that idea. Now, we have lots to answer for. We have things to heal. There's problems, no doubt about that. But the truth is that Gaia says you belong here. She sees you as a healing force on the planet, not a virus. So just kind of put that in your pipe and smoke it, okay? This this is a time for us to rally for ourselves, actually. There are cultural conditioning systems. I'm going to speak to them. Definitely engender the notion that what you are is what they decide for you. Whether you get to be whatever your sexual orientation gets to be. I mean, goodness, if you're allowed to be here because you are male or female is the thing, you know. The feminine has definitely been under attack for a long time. If you, what your gender assignment is at birth versus your own gender identity, you know, that's a problem. I could name many. Those are just in the news all the time right now. And, you know, who this little baby is coming in is a spark of God force. And God does not cherry pick identity for the sake of others. God is force, God force, spirit, all that is. Absolutely not. You don't do that. You come in knowing that your grace is profoundly, desperately wanted here. And that grace is not about what you define yourself as, is who you actually are, who you really are, and what you came to do. And I wouldn't give that up for the world to anybody, for any reason, to decide for you who you get to be. And that's not always an easy thing to confront in life when we have people around who have opinions about what we're allowed to do. But goodness, just being a center of you is such a peaceful thing. It's magnetic. It attunes the world to you, not the other way around. You do not need to attune yourself to be the mouthpiece for others. You may, my friend, get to be you. Wholly, completely, and utterly, beautifully, soundly, gorgeously, fantastically, fabulously you. And that is today's message. So, do you want to get on the ride of being true to yourself now that you know that your peace is at the center of the conversation? Peace is it. And there's a peace in knowing you that is so profound that it transforms everything around you. So peacemakers, my friends, this is the path. I appreciate you, and I look forward to sharing another message with you later. Take care.